collective basis, Jews fought back. In many other ghettos, they fought back. The only one who was ever a little successful was the Warsaw Uprising. But the Białystok ghetto, every ghetto had an underground, and every ghetto tried to do what they could to survive, and also we'll have to talk about fighting back. Right? The word fighting back is a misnomer. There's no such word, fighting back.
But also the Jews were sent to concentration camps, correct?
What?
After the uprising, they were sent to concentration camps?
Yes, so actually, the Jews who survived the uprising, many of them were younger and stronger, so they didn't just kill them, they sent them to concentration.
Right.
What?
How was it even allowed to success for them?
Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. The 8th of May, 1943, the head of this Emdah, this bunker, Mordechai and the Levites, he wasn't taken out. They wouldn't surrender, so they threw grenades in and bombed the whole bunker. They got him, and together with they're not sure how many, but at least 70 other people they found
In that bunker?
in that bunker. Yeah, I had a question with Kwan, and was this the right spot? So he sent to the archaeologist. He said, come on. They're not sure the exact spot because everything was leveled. If you look over here, right, on Google, someone want to Google it, Warsaw Ghetto destroyed, you'll see it's just huge piles of rubble. It was nothing. Okay.
What was this?
This is, why is it a mound? Because after they leveled all the buildings, they left one mound of rubble after the war to commemorate the uprising. Then afterwards it became a hill, and afterwards it became a monument. So that was the original monument down there, the piece of stone. So they're not sure exactly where the entrance to the bunker was, but somewhere around here. Right? And the idea is this is supposed to look like a tree that was cut off. Okay. Now, we'll just speak for a minute, and then we'll daven. I'll have in mind the neshamas of all the people who are nifter here. You know, the reality was there was no way to fight against the Germans. The Jews were not trained anymore. They weren't used to war. The Jews were not organized. The Germans had millions of soldiers. Remember, they had millions of soldiers? It wasn't just a million soldiers. They had more than, I forget the exact numbers, that's what I'm not saying, but millions of soldiers. Not only that, they had all sorts of auxiliary people helping them. Ukrainians, and even people like Russians and English who joined the German army. Right? So there were huge amounts of Germans. Most places were surrounded, for example, Warsaw Ghetto was surrounded by the Blue Police, which were Polish police, the Latvian militias, and Lithuanian militias. Other places, there were Ukrainians that they used. So it was patrolled by very few Nazis, even though there were, tens of thousands of Nazis here. And there was no way you could win them. There was no way you could break out on an individual basis. There was ways to escape the ghetto, but where were you going to go, and how were you not going to be caught? And people did do that. They did do that. There was a Polish underground that was supposed to be helping the Jews, but their help was very minimal. And they say they did the best they could, whatever you want to say, but that's what happened. But there was a whole question. In the Jewish community here, there was a council of Jewish leaders and rabbis. And the question was, should they do an action against the German government? And initially, almost everyone was against it because the assumption was, again, this is after 39, 40, 41, 42. Antagonizing them had proven to be brutal. If someone from one German was killed, they kill out a whole Jewish village. And we have a mitzvah to preserve our lives. We just have to do whatever we could. And starting up with the Germans was not going to preserve Jewish lives. As a matter of fact, after the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, they closed down all the ghettos. And everyone was taken to camps, either to concentration camps or to death camps. If you want to think of it like that, the Ghetto Uprising was the cause of untold death. How many Germans were actually killed in the uprising? There's all sorts of numbers. The highest number is like 100. Lowest numbers were like 12 actual Germans. So was it a success? Was it not a success? Was it a dismal failure or not? Should it have been done or not? This is a shaila, not a simple question. And there were different people who spoke about it. And one of them was the Rebbe Piasetzna, who died here in the ghetto. And him and other Rabbanim, they were for the idea of showing, now that they already taken most of the people away, the idea of showing that Jewish blood is not free. We're not going to beat the Germans. We're not committed suicide. But we're going to try to fight as much as Hashem is able to help us to die trying to show that you can't just kill Jewish blood. Now, like I told some girls, in Bialystok ghetto, they had an uprising. Most ghettos had some sort of underground. Krakow ghetto had an underground. They were found out, they were quashed, they were killed. The uprising there lasted a matter of hours. Here, they held out for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Why? Only because Hashem wanted the Jewish pride to be lifted. There's no good reason. Finally,